Hello, Sun City residents. This is Rusty Bradshaw with Sun City News and Stuff, and I'm here to give you some information from the Recreation Centers of Sun City Exchange meeting, which took place this morning. It is the last exchange meeting until September, and it was a fairly short meeting. So first I want to go through the topics from the previous meeting. Residents would like better hours for the cornhole area, and they wanted it to be much like the mini golf and paddle boats. And this is at Lakeview, where this cornhole facility is located. And the hours have been adjusted to match the mini golf hours. And residents have asked if there will be outreach to the members that live by Mountain View that will be impacted by the renovation. Well, there have been numerous communications and meetings and updates on the project that Mountain View area residents can see and actually go to meetings in person. There have been 2 town halls. There will be another one later this month. And so yes, they have been reaching out. And some residents continue to harp on a feasibility study for the Mountain View project. And President Tom Foster listed off the numerous meetings, town halls, communications, and outreach to residents that have been done. Now this may or may not meet the definition of feasibility study, but it's been a very comprehensive look at this project. So in my view, a feasibility study has been done. Now, feasibility studies are generally done by municipalities or businesses who want to start up. This is not a municipality. This is not a business startup. The renovation at Mountain View is not just to build a theater. It's to build a performance center that can be used by any number of performing clubs here in the community. In addition, the entire center campus will see some renovations, including pickleball, the pool, fitness center, and so forth. So yes, there have been plenty of studies done. Someone else wants to find a new name for the project rather than the Mountain View renovation project, because they don't want it to sound like it's just a theater for the players. Well, the Mountain View renovation project says nothing about a theater or performing arts center. It says nothing about the players. So in my opinion, why find a new name? It's the Mountain View renovation project. Simple as that. Speaking of which, Chris Nettesheim provided an update on the project, and she said there now is a calendar for the project, and it is on the RCSC website, so you can go there and look at the calendar. It's kind of a simple calendar. It's not a line by line item as yet. I'm sure that will come later. Ms. Nettesheim said that Triarch is, and the board is reviewing schematic designs and signing construction contracts. The board will continue to provide Triarch with all data they need. The next item on the calendar is to move into construction documents. They expect to see a final schematic design by October or November of this year. Now, I mentioned earlier that there's going to be a meeting later this month, and this is to go over the theme for the campus renovation and some preliminary schematic designs. This meeting is set for 5 to 9 p.m. June 23rd at the Sundial Auditorium at 14801 North 103rd Avenue. So there's a very good opportunity for you to see what's going on with this project and to provide input if you have any. Ms. Nettesheim also said that the firm of Kraus Anderson is on the contract now, and their task is to make sure that the project stays on track and, more importantly, stays on budget. She also emphasized that the June 23rd meeting will be the last time residents will have a chance to talk with Triarch before the final design is completed. That meeting will be live streamed. However, you're going to need to have a YouTube account and a Google account to be able to live stream. And if you need instructions on that, they are on the RCSC website. The board will continue to ask for suggestions from residents. Progress reports will also be made in July and August, just in a slightly different format. And those reports will be posted on the RCSC's YouTube and new Facebook page. So watch for those. And on to the resident comments. Most of them revolved around Duffeeland Dog Park. One resident said she is seeing improvements at the park, but said there are only 2 water sources. One of which she checked the temperature, and one day it was 89 degrees and another day it was 92 degrees. She said this is not adequate for dogs who need cool water, cool, clean water to regulate their internal temperatures. Board member Steve Collins suggested that the water should be run for a while because it's the same thing that happens at his home where he turns on the hose and it's hot in the beginning, but after it's run through, it cools off. And I can tell you that that's true whenever we do here at home. Remember that the heat in Arizona heats up the water in the pipes before they're even coming out of the faucet, especially during the summer. However, Tom Foster directed Director of Operations Mike Diermeyer to look into the issue to see if there were other options to get cool water to the park. Another resident thanked the board for listening on the cornhole issue. Another resident said that well-designed dog parks are beneficial to the communities in which they are in. And he said it's apparent when he sees people walking their dogs on the sidewalks why they don't use Duffeeland Dog Park. And he invited all board members to go to the dog park and see for themselves the problems that are being encountered. Board member Mike Kopic said he is a frequent user of the dog park and said that he agrees with the issues brought up about the water. And he's urged the board to look at the dog park in a larger scope. And another resident invited all board members to visit the Duffeeland Dog Park, saying it is the least maintained property in Sun City. This resident also reminded cornhole players that there is cornhole indoors Thursdays at the Sportsman's Club at the Grand Center. And one last resident comment. Talked about how he's learning about rules that are not written and don't make sense, but they're being enforced. He provided a couple of examples where people were chased out of a spa because right next door is the pool where the spa participants can't see the pool and the pool participants can't see the spa, but a person was chased out of there because the people in the pool had exclusivity. He provided another example at another center where a man was trying to walk laps and there was no one else in the pool, but he was chased out because a group said they had it for 2 hours. Mr. Foster said they will be looking into those situations to see what can be changed. And as I said, this will be the last exchange for a couple of months. The next exchange will be September 14th. However, the board has one more meeting before the summer recess. That will come on the last Thursday of June at 9 o'clock at Sundial in the auditorium. So if you've got some issues or you want to speak on any motions that are there, please attend. Thank you for watching.